very basically how to work in a scripting environment. I know almost all of you have used Grasshopper before, so you're kind of familiar, but here's how it works. So you put in nodes to do some inputs and outputs. Let's say I want to draw a point somewhere in the environment. As soon as I put in the point node, it will create a point in the center because X, Y, and Z have a default value in them. If I go hover on top of them, you'll see it defines that the default value is 0, and then the thing that it wants to get is the double. Double means a number. Whenever you have a node, on the left side you have your inputs, on the right side you have your outputs, and the data flows from left to right. So this point node is waiting for X, Y, and Z value to go into it, and it's giving you a point. So if you want to change those, you can right click and say number. It will give you this number tool. You can copy and paste it. You can Control C, Control V, or you can hold and control and drag down, and then you can connect. So for connecting, it's click, move, click. It's not click and drag, it's click and click. And then you give it numbers. So let's say X is 1, Y is 10, and Z is 20. You see the point in the background is moving. Control B, I want to see my background closer. I zoom in, Control B, back to my notes. If I want to change this 20, and this is not an automatic, it's on manual, I change the 20 to 10. You see the background graphic has not changed. As soon as I click run, the point will move to point 10. So that's basically input, outputs, and then some process will happen from left to right. You will deal with that. And then you will learn how to make it more adjustable and more interesting. So maybe instead of just putting in numbers, you can use some sliders. So very similar again to, at some point I'll stop referring to Grasshopper, but for now, you got two different types of sliders. One is just integer, the other one is number. Number means it's real numbers with all the decimals. Integers are only integers. So I'll get a number slider, and I'll attach that to my Y, and then you can see by just changing that slider, I can move the point around. And if I click on this drop-down menu, I can change my minimum, maximum, and the steps. So maybe steps are 0, 0, 1, and maybe my maximum is only 10. And then I'll go and zoom in on my point, go back, and start moving this. You see it's only going from 0 to 10, but I've got more resolution in between because of all those details that I've added. So very simply done. When you are, so let's say I've got my background off, and I want to just deal with that with very pure scripting. There's a node called watch. It's similar to panel in Grasshopper, where you can input your data and you will see what you're dealing with. So this is telling me I have this number is not connected, so I've got a number of 1 going to the X. I've got a slider of 5, 5.4 going to my Y, and a number of 9 going to my Z. These are all creating my point by coordinates, and here I'm watching it and it's showing me there's a point. X is 1, Y is 5.4, and Z is 9. When you're dealing with lists and more complicated trees of data, the watch tool is something you will always put in to see what you're actually dealing with and how to get stuff out of it the way you want. There's one more node called watch 2D that is very similar to my background graphic. So you will just put this in, and then it will let you go around and see your point, which is not happening right now. I don't know why, but it should show the point here. I'll go back, turn on my background preview on, Control B. You see the point is there. Control B, the point should be here too. I don't know what I'm missing, but it should show up. We'll test it again later.